An extra thing about myself? I don't know. I guess in university I had, well, I lived in this small town in Missouri, and I always wanted to get out of this little town. I mean, I never saw a mountain, I never saw the ocean. I had to get out of this little town, and I knew I wanted to go to a foreign country. I wanted to see, something outside of this little place. And I had lots of friends from France and from Germany and from different countries, but probably my closest friends were Japanese. So they said, why don't you come to Japan? Why don't you come to Japan? I found a job here and I came here. I was interested in ceramics, right? And so, living in Japan, I was like, well, I gotta, study some cultural something. So Japan is famous for ceramics, and I started taking some ceramics classes at a local community center when I first came here. What I was attracted to originally in comparing Japanese ceramics to American ceramics is this way of making a cup and letting it have a little bit of an unfinished feel to it, like it's a natural thing, like it just came out of the mountain or something. That is unique to Japanese ceramics. And there's kind of a line and a flow that comes out of these kinds of pots, and it's the same kind of line that I'm attracted to in the drawings that I'm making. And so, living here, traveling around, I saw images of, there's Oni sculptures in ceramic towns, and images and drawings of Oni. And they're like this fantastical creature, this creature of your imagination, and the rules of the structure of our body aren't applicable there. So I kind of started drawing them just for fun, and drawing those Oni had an influence on my drawing, I guess. I got more interested in drawing things without a rule, without like a structure to it. Some of the Oni landscape drawings that I'd done, I'm using parts and pieces of Oni drawings that I've made, and I'm using parts and pieces of figurative studies that I've made. And I'm not focusing on making a specific object and forcing the paint to make an illusion of a person standing or an illusion of a devil standing there or something. About this sculpture and this drawing were made about the same time. And I guess you can kind of see the blocks and chunks of form in this sculpture, and how I'm breaking up pieces of the shape, like the horns on this sculpture is broken up into chunks of space, like I would do on this sculpture. That with drawing, there's no consequence to anything that you're doing. With architecture, there's certain materials you have to use. You have to build it a certain way, or the building will fall down. Like you just can't do whatever you want. And even with philosophy, yeah, you can kind of say whatever you want, but if you really want people to live by that, by the code or whatever you're telling them to do, it has to be practical. It has to be something that they can use. So you can't just say anything you want. Like if you try anything with philosophy, well, people are going to kill each other or something. You can't just do anything you want. With drawing, there's no consequence. It's flat. There's no practical or functional use of it, and you can experiment with anything. It's expression as pure as you can make it. I mean, people have always been drawing, and there's no grammar to it. There's no building codes to it. You can just make anything you want.